This is part 2 of the interview with Sylvia about the Muay Thai library. You were saying that they are imitating energies.
They're imitating energies and styles, not like this is the kick technique. Like,
right.
Fighters have the same techniques and they look completely different on them. I compare this stuff to music often, which is like, you might really love singing a Mick Jagger song because you like Mick Jagger's energy, but you don't want to sing Whitney Houston because you don't like power ballads or whatever, you know? Like, I don't really want to sing Whitney Houston, but I really love singing, like, I don't know, Freddie Mercury or something.
Yeah, and it might be nice to try on the high range of Whitney Houston just to expand yourself, but there's always someone who's going to speak to you or a style.
Yeah.
And that's something that's kind of interesting to me about this project is you're a Muay Thai fighter. But some of the fighters you love, like Karahat, are thought of as Muay Thai fighters. But it's not like you're just pointing a camera and clinically capturing something. But you're actually watching a legendary fighter sometimes an undiscovered crew with great teaching capabilities, interacting with a real fighter with real aims of improving. And so you get to actually watch a kind of synthesis. Sometimes there's things you do really well and you pick up on fast. Sometimes there are things that you are struggling with. And the struggle is almost just as important, right? Maybe talk a little bit about, like, we're not just documenting men and technique, but also like a relationship between a student and that's why it goes for an hour, sometimes 2 hours.
Yeah, I don't know, what's kind of interesting about that too is that these guys are not always like teachers. Like Samson Hassan, he's not a teacher.
He's a taxi
kind of like, what do I do?
He's
like,
a taxi
when
driver,
we brought him in to teach me, and then he was incredible.
Yeah. Because
it's like, just show me that. Like, just convey that. And so he just had to do it. And then when he saw me get excited about it, he got excited about it. Dieselnoy likes me because I love Muay Thai. Like, he can feel that. And I don't think that that's something that these men or even a lot of teachers necessarily get to experience in the way that they're teaching, in the gyms that they're put in or non-gyms that they're put in and all of these different things. And so in preserving the technique and preserving the legacy and preserving these men, it's creating a space for that excitement and love of Muay Thai to kind of have space and get water or whatever. I don't know.
Get water. Be nourished.
It.
Oh yeah. So so people are patrons and they're studying these techniques and they're improving their sparring in their gyms, and we hear from people all the time about how this is really meaningful right now as we're filming these things and putting them up. People are connecting to them. But what's really interesting is a lot of these men are aging out of even teaching at all. Yeah. And even if those that do teach, not a lot of their style is being communicated in those sections. It feels to me like this is a preservation project that's like the Amazon rainforest or something. That these are modes of Muay Thai that just do not exist anymore. Some of them are actual techniques and moves and things that are never done anymore in the ring and are profound. But it feels like in 20 or 30 years, this is going to be an incredible memory of this state in Muay Thai. Like Muay Thai from the 90s and the golden age, the 2000s. Do you ever think about that, about how this is a digital record of something that's really fading away right now?
I do. I think that the sense of urgency to archiving these men before they age out, or some of these guys who we're trying to get right now, they just don't teach. They don't teach, and so like getting them into the library is difficult. It requires this like.
Wait 1 second. Let me pass over this. Like Samrak, we've talked to Samrak and he's like, I don't teach anymore. He's like literally says, I don't teach. Although he said he would teach you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But getting him to actually do that, or like getting Wan Chinoy, who's not feeling well, or, you know, all of these things can be tricky because nobody's asking for this. You know, like it's difficult to convey what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
And being able to, I don't know, I keep thinking about Wong, who is this incredible trainer at Lana.
Yeah.
That we had Christmas at Lana, and he was sitting there on the mat with us, and he was talking about how his Muay Thai was going to die with him, that he wasn't even going to teach his son.
Yeah.
And he had this very sad, weird sense of honor about keeping it and not passing it on, that like nobody wanted it, and so it was going to go. And it was this like, it was this sad, Wong is not like a Yod Muay, but he's incredible. Like, he has wonderful Muay Thai that I would love
300 fights
to capture.
Yeah, just like there's thousands of people like this in
and
Thailand.
Then there are people like General Tanwakom, who's like, I want someone to take this. Like, someone needs to come take this.
Yeah, please
and
take
he
this.
doesn't
Yeah.
have the student for it.
Yeah.
So it runs the spectrum of people who would love to pass it on, and then people who are like, oh no, don't worry about it. But then when you get them actually teaching, they're like brilliant. And I think that this idea that a lot of the sand will slip through the fingers, like you are going to lose elements of Muay Thai just because of the way things move.
And ring Muay Thai now is very far from the Muay Thai that these men fought and were taught. Mm-hmm. And then
so many of these legends are like, I don't watch Muay Thai anymore.
They don't even watch it.
It's incredible.
So, in some sense, when we're running the camera and they're teaching you, we're traveling back in time. Like, it doesn't even exist now. Mm-hmm. It only exists in these people's passion and in their bodies and memory. Mm-hmm. It's, I don't know, I'm really struck by this. I feel like this is an art that is just like on a precipice here. Mm-hmm. And I remember when we first started and we were in America and we just wanted to know, like, how do we throw something properly so I don't practice a mistake?
Yeah, show me the kick.
Yeah. But you couldn't even quite get it. We had to, like, get a Baz Rutten video and imitate that. Yeah. Like, we were so starved for just, like, you were in the woods practically with a heavy bag, just searching the internet to try to do something properly. Mm-hmm. And I think part of this project has grown out of that fact that we were just so isolated in America. And we were like, even a book with a photo meant something. Yeah. And I think now that we're like touching these like great men and seeing them, we're like, this has to be saved. Yeah. Right?
But there's also this, like, to me, very obvious and instant recognition of those differences. Like, the first gym I went to in America, I'm like, this is not, like, I didn't know Muay Thai, and I'm like, this is not what I was looking at. And then we find Master K, and it's like that, that, show me that.
Yeah, and already people were being, in the West, were like, that's not contemporary Muay Thai, that's not real.
It doesn't work in the ring.
Yeah.
Okay. It does, though.
Yeah. So, I don't know, I guess I feel like we're like at the 50-hour mark on what we've archived, and we're pushing for at least 100 hours. I just kind of want to invite people to just come along for the ride on this. And what's kind of interesting too is that you're a historic fighter who's trying to incorporate some of these elements from everyone in your own fight process. Mm-hmm. So people actually get to watch you do the difficult work of like digestion, right? Which is also a valuable thing too, right?